Nobody talks about this painful truth because it does not sound inspiring, it does not make people feel good, and it does not give instant hope. It forces you to accept responsibility, and responsibility is heavy. Most people would rather believe that life is unfair, that circumstances are against them, or that they were simply unlucky. That belief is easier to carry than the truth. The truth is that most people are exactly where their habits, decisions, and silence have placed them, and once you see that, you can never unsee it. The painful truth is that nobody is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not society, not motivation, and not time. People might support you, guide you, or encourage you, but no one will live your life for you. Waiting for rescue is one of the quietest ways people waste their potential. Years pass while they hope something will change on its own. And one day, they realize that hope without action was never a plan. Another truth people avoid is that being busy does not mean you are progressing. Many people fill their days with noise, tasks, and distractions to avoid facing how empty they feel inside. They wake up tired, go to sleep tired, and repeat the cycle, believing exhaustion means effort. But effort without direction leads nowhere. You can give everything you have and still remain in the same place if you are moving in the wrong direction or not moving at all. Nobody talks about how comfort slowly destroys ambition. Comfort feels like peace, but it is often disguised fear. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of uncertainty. Comfort keeps life predictable, and predictability feels safe. But safety without growth becomes a cage. The longer you stay comfortable, the harder it becomes to leave. Over time, even small challenges feel overwhelming because you trained yourself to avoid discomfort. Another painful truth is that discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Discipline is a decision. Most people wait to feel inspired before they act, but inspiration rarely visits people who are inactive. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. If you are waiting to feel ready, you will wait forever. Readiness is built by starting before you feel prepared. People also avoid the truth that their habits are shaping their future every single day. What you do daily matters more than what you do occasionally. Small choices feel harmless in the moment, but they compound over time. The things you ignore today become the problems you regret tomorrow. No one wakes up one day and suddenly ruins their life. It happens slowly, quietly, through repeated neglect. Another truth nobody likes to hear is that distraction is self-sabotage. Endless scrolling, constant entertainment, and noise keep your mind busy but your life empty. Distraction feels like rest, but it drains your focus and steals your time. Time is the most unforgiving resource because once it is gone, it never returns. Most people don't waste time intentionally. They lose it by not protecting it. Nobody talks about how avoiding responsibility feels good in the short term, but destroys confidence in the long term. Every responsibility you avoid weakens your belief in yourself. Every responsibility you face builds strength. Confidence is not built by positive thinking. It is built by keeping promises to yourself, even when it is uncomfortable. Another painful truth is that your environment shapes you more than your intentions. You can want to change, but if you surround yourself with people, habits, and spaces that keep you the same, change becomes harder. Growth requires intentional distance from what keeps you small. Not everyone can go with you to the next version of your life, and that reality hurts, but it is necessary. People also avoid the truth that overthinking is often fear in disguise. Thinking feels productive, but it is usually a way to delay action. Clarity comes from movement, not from endless analysis. If you are constantly thinking about change but never acting on it, you are not confused. You are afraid. And fear only loses power when you move through it. Nobody talks about how silence can be damaging. Not expressing your thoughts, needs, or boundaries creates internal pressure. Over time, silence turns into resentment, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. Peace does not come from avoiding conflict, it comes from honesty. Difficult conversations are uncomfortable, but avoiding them costs you far more. Another painful truth is that comparison destroys joy and focus. When you compare your life to others, you either feel behind or superior, and both are traps. Growth happens when you focus on progress, not position. Your journey does not need to look like anyone else's to be valid. The truth most people realize too late is that time does not wait for confidence, clarity, or courage. Life keeps moving forward whether you are ready or not. The cost of inaction is invisible at first, but it becomes heavy over time. Regret is rarely about what people did. It is about what they never tried. Nobody talks about how change begins with awareness, but requires action. Awareness without action becomes frustration. Action without consistency becomes chaos. Growth is not dramatic. It is quiet, slow, and often lonely, but it is worth it. The most painful truth of all is that you already know what you need to change. You don't need another video, another quote, or another moment of inspiration. You need the courage to stop doing what is keeping you stuck and start doing what scares you a little. If this message feels uncomfortable, that is not a bad sign. It means it is touching something real. Growth begins where comfort ends. And the moment you choose honesty over excuses, movement over waiting, and action over fear, life begins to change. Nobody talks about this painful truth because it demands something from you. But now that you've heard it, what you do next matters more than anything.